Welcome back to Ignition Point. I'm Debbie Hart.
Sean Finnegan.
And today we are privileged to have back both Forbes Riley, celebrity TV show host.
One of our greatest shows we've ever done.
2.5 billion in
we
sales.
got so many comments.
So amazing.
People absolutely loved it.
But we also have her sweetheart here today.
Well, your
Yeah,
butt
keep it in there.
Your butt is buzzing when you mention my
Yeah, keep that in
sweetheart.
there. Keep going.
Joshua Self, who is a 2 times, maybe almost 3 times Arnold champion. He was featured actually on the Super Bowl yesterday. But before we go into that, because you have some amazing stories to share yourself, I want you guys to share the ignition point of how you two met, because this is a jaw-dropping love story that you don't hear every day, right?
Okay. Well, I was just got done winning the Arnold for the 2nd time, and I was at home, and I get a phone call, and it's my photographer, and he's like, "Hey, you need to come over here and do this fitness product. She's kind of a big deal." I'm like, okay. So, living in Vegas, so I'm in Vegas. So, go to the hotel, knock on the room. Right when I got to the room, the fitness girl came, so we arrived at the same time. So then I walked in, and she, I think Doc answered the door, and then I walked in, and she was over by the living room. And
So I will jump in. Now I'll jump in and do my side of this. So to start, we're in Las Vegas in a hotel room. That's
Right.
where we met. Okay,
Yeah,
let's
yeah.
get real. Arnold fitness champion, former Chippendale, and I'm like, our videographer's like, "Do you want to meet a 2-time Arnold champion?" I'm like, "No, I don't want to meet him," because I told my daughter, fitness guys like 3 things: working out, food, and themselves. Sorry. And I don't have it with me, but you guys have seen my spin gym. It's a handheld product, looks like a yo-yo. And to some big guys, it looks like a joke. But he walks in anyway with this girl. I don't think anything about him. He's very handsome, cute. And you know what I said to him? Like I say to every man, take your shirt off, let's get going. Could you take your jacket off, by the way? Because I don't think they realize what's underneath him.
She loves to
take
show
the
Yeah,
it
we
off.
need to have that jacket off, bro.
I'm not with him for his personality, okay? No, are you
Gee,
kidding me? It's been 7
man.
years.
Sweetheart.
Muscles only go
You guys
so
are
far.
so cute together.
But when I look at, and honestly, I looked at him going, congratulations, and I moved on. I didn't think twice about him.
so then she had me take my shirt off and start doing the spin gym, and she had me do all kinds of different exercises. And then at the end of it, she was like, "Well, what do you think? Would you use it?" I'm like, "No." And she's like, "Well, can't you lie?" And I'm like,
Yeah.
"No."
I don't lie.
Got to shoot it straight.
So I'm all about building muscle. This thing is going to put muscle on me.
Right.
So anyway, so after, so I left, and then I wrote a post on social media saying, I demonstrated this product with her. I look forward to maybe being a model of hers in an infomercial.
I read that, and it was really sweet. Turns out he's a very brilliant writer. And we flirted for 3 months on social media. Wow. And honestly, I'm a little older than he is. And I looked at him and thought, must be a playboy, must be a player. I didn't take it very seriously, but he wrote these things that were so beautiful.
Yeah, I did ask her if she was looking for, if she wanted a
boy toy.
A boy toy.
And I'm like, you're such an
You
idiot.
actually said
He did, he said it. I'm like, what kind of a jerk is this?
What was the answer?
That was a test. That was a test, yeah.
Oh,
Which she did not reply to me until maybe a couple of days.
Well, because I was stunned. And so what we kept this conversation going, and obviously what I come to know now is the coolest man I've ever met in my entire life, is what I was reading those posts. And so I was living in California. I said, why don't you come out? And he drives up on his motorcycle, spent 4 hours driving out there. He gets off, all in black leather, takes his helmet off, and this is a commercial. It's like, chicka, 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 I'm the guy. Oh my gosh. And then I said, wait a second. He's out here for one thing. He knows that I'm successful, I'm on television, I make some money, and that's what everyone kind of had told me when I was even talking about him. He get out, and we sit down outside, and I looked at you and I said, what are you doing here?
And I said, well, I'm not very religious, but somebody told me you needed me, or something told me.
That you needed me.
Yeah.
Wow.
oh.
And I will tell you, from that first moment, there was this connection, and it's been 7 years. We
We
just got together.
Well, share
we just knew.
Not only romantic and amazing, but for about 10 years, I made a very conscious decision that I was not going to fall in love. Because I knew that I waited so long to have my babies. I was 42 when I had them. That if I was in somebody else's family, what we do on holidays, what do we do on, I just want to focus on my babies. And I did. But at some point I woke up and thought, I am so damn lonely and unhappy that I don't have a heart partner. And my daughter turned to me, it made me cry, and she's like, how come we're not enough, Mom? And I thought,
Well, I just kind of, she just I kind of just moved in
Well-
without even letting her kids know that I'm moving in.
I literally, when we fell in love, we fell hard. It was just like, I looked at him, he looked at me, and I'm like, you are the rest of my life. I can't believe I would say that. But I look at this man, and everything about me, from the day I met him, it's still tingling. Like,
I gave a pretty good pitch.
Yeah, you
Where
did.
did you learn that from?
Yeah.
yeah. And then the part that Debbie's talking about is that we got together. I came out to see him in Las Vegas, and we were up in the foundation with the Mandalay Bay, and we went out. He said, "Do you want to come down and play poker?" And I said, "No, I want to go take a picture of Joshua and I out at the Strip." And we walk out there, and what happens?
Bang, 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 bang.
And we think it's fireworks. Literally, the moment we had our camera rolling on the balcony of the Mandalay Bay.
Jeez.
And what we were hearing and what we were witnessing on my iPhone was the guy 10 floors below us killing people in the concert right over there.
Oh.
And we were all watching and wondering why people are running and not moving. And so we were locked down for 11 hours. We was more in the building. There was a lot of terrorism. There was all kind of things that happened for 11 hours.
Well, she went into newscaster mode, and was like all the footage you saw on CNN and stuff was
Came from my
her
phone.
phone. I went back and fell asleep.
Which was, by the way, very interesting how he handled, what do you do in an emergency? I think that's what the litmus test for a relationship.
Yeah.
Right.
He's like, because we were in this room, and it's a long room, and all I really remember is I just watched a TV show that said, in an emergency, run. Don't wait for the wave to get you, run. Don't wait for the fire to, run. So we were standing right by the door. We all came inside to find out what the news was. We're all like, CNN, what's the news? When you are the news, it's Twitter. It's literally in live time. We had said people, there's bombs in the New York, in the Bellagio, Las Vegas being terrorized, and we're in the top of this building going, oh my God, what's happening? And the energy in the room was like, holy shit, what's going on?
Right.
Then I hear from across the room, everybody get the fuck on the floor, and there's a guy with a machine gun, and all I can imagine is the Push nightclub where this guy just was killing people. And I ran out the door back to the balcony. The
She
door
left
closed.
me. She just left me.
The door closed behind me.
Left you, took off?
No, I'm the only one who took off. I'm on the balcony by myself going, and all I hear is like yelling and screaming in there. And I'm thinking, okay, the man that I love is going to die. He's going to come out here, find me by myself, and shoot me. I called my kids, and I'm like, I actually called my ex because I didn't want to call my kids. I was too terrorized. I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm in the wrong place at the wrong time. I don't think I'm going to ever see you guys again. And then I'm crawling along thinking, how do I get out of this? I do want to survive. And then somebody grabs me by the back of my dress and picks me up and turns around, and there's a big SWAT on his chest. And then I see all these people with their hands over their head walking in, and I'm like, I don't know what's happened. I don't know if you're the good guy or the bad guy. I see him, and I will tell you it's like a movie. There was a moment where I'm just hold me. Tell me that this is all going to be okay. And for us, it was. For 11 hours, I went into reporter mode, and I started saying, this is what we're watching. This is what we're witnessing. I don't know how you knew.
Well, she always has like these permission cards, right? And then there's a little blank of you can write down whatever you want permission for. So after our first visit together, I took a picture and I took a picture of the card and say,
I hereby grant you permission
to love me or something like that.
Oh, so sweet.
How did the
you
story
guys.
end for you then,
Yeah.
that whole experience?
You know, the story ended 11 hours later. They let us go downstairs, and there's a very weird moment where you're in Mandalay Bay and there's nobody
Yeah,
there.
we were walking down Las Vegas Strip. Nobody was on. It was a ghost town. You'll never see that again.
It was a very traumatic time to go through. I personally, I think you weathered it okay, didn't you?
Oh yeah, I'm good.
I had a little PTSD. I had to go through some stuff to get rid of whatever energies because I took it really hard.
Yeah.
There are 55, maybe 56 people who were killed, and when we finally got to the hotel room, you could see their faces. And then I got interviewed on Piers Morgan, and I got to tell you, it became a very personal tragedy on some level for me. And Joshua, this is why I love him. He's like, just let it go, because you've been through some crazy tragedies in your life. Mm-hmm. What's the first tragedy you ever experienced?
My dad dying, my second dad dying.
He was 2 with his first dad, 15 with his second dad.
Yeah.
And then we were in the middle of a train. So I'll just wrap up the love story.
Yeah.
I'm assuming you're a fitness guy, and you're sweet, you're a great writer, and I'm falling in love with the words, and I want to believe you, but I've been taken before. And I almost just can't believe there's somebody as nice and as real as you existed. I know, right?
Well, they thought I was just a fitness guy.
Oh,
Fortunately, yeah, you knew that there was
Well, I didn't know a whole
Yeah.
lot more.
Not to know that I have 2 degrees in electronics and visual effects motion graphics, because I'm also a 3D artist and editor and videographer and photographer.
A muscle guy with brains?
Yeah.
On, huh?
But then I owned a television studio in St. Pete. And this is the moment where the world just completely said, you got it. He walks in and he's like, I could run this place. I'm like, excuse me?
Yeah, I did. They had like no lights. I bought lights and
He
cameras.
used to run studios, work tech. Now here's the other side of my career. I need a camera guy almost full time. I remember thinking, wouldn't it be so cool to have a camera guy follow you everywhere? Well, little did I know that I was gonna fall in love with my camera guy, video guy, who's better than anyone I've ever seen at branding photos, at video. And so now we travel together. Because remember I went back, I don't know what you were what were you looking for, by the way?
Best friend.
Did you find it?
That's awesome.
And
So
I was
cute.
looking for somebody that could be in my world and make sense, who didn't have to be tied down by a regular job, because I travel all over the world.
That was a bonus.
And you love that. You guys are always together, unless you're at the
Come on,
gym.
Dubai, Costa Rica, where we've been around the world already. Yes?
So sweet. I love your story.
And he was also a dad to a beautiful girl and a boy. And I'm like, I found the perfect person for me.
So what would your advice be for someone, in a relationship and trying to really grow closer together and create a bond like you have?
They should have had it before they got together. They should know. We always talk about how you should ask for what you want and you will receive it. So you gotta know what you want. I wanted a best friend. I want somebody smart, intelligent, pretty.
Could use somebody a little more organized.
Yeah.
But when I wrote my list of things that I wanted before I met him, I want someone who, when I roll over, says to me, oh my God, with my mascara down my face, my hair all frizzy, and my breath smelling like ass, that you're the most beautiful woman in the world. And then you did that. You literally did that. And I'm like, because when I said, does my breath smell, what do you say?
Oh yeah.
But who cares? Really? Then I met a girlfriend of mine who had a very handsome husband, and she said, when I wrote my list, I said I wanted someone who looked like he walked off the cover of a romance novel. I said, I'm taking that, putting it right on the top of my list. Yeah. And I was like, dude, I got that one too.
Yeah.
So the question is, if you don't believe in manifestation, I feel sad for you.
Yeah.
I really do. You don't have to. I think manifestation works whether you truly believe in it or not. I would advise you to believe, because for those of us where it works, it's magic.
You got everything on your list.
You did. You both did.
And more.
Yeah, and more.
I didn't know the best friend part of it. I didn't know somebody could be so supportive. And in my world, we call it Forbesing it, which is my first name. To Forbes something means to manifest it, especially when no one else thinks it's possible.
I love
Well,
that.
tell me what you really learned from me. She didn't know how to love. She didn't know what love was.
We all grow up the way we grow up. I was lucky enough to have 2 beautiful parents who thought the world began and ended with me, but maybe not the best relationship models. I got hurt a lot. I was very vulnerable, and I allowed myself to be in situations where my heart got squished and broken and confused. And then, what are you looking for? And I remember thinking, and I hated Disney. I'd had enough of Disney. Disney, all the moms are dead. Dumbo and Bambi's mother gone. Stepmoms are evil witches and evil queens. All princesses have tiny little waists and blonde hair, and they're rescued by some guy.
Yep.
And I kept thinking that. The irony is, I did end up getting rescued by the right guy.
Amazing.
Okay,
So
you
he
know what?
taught you how to love again.
He did. I don't think I had a space in my heart for that anymore. I pretty much was this cold person. And if you've been hurt, you find you insulate to protect yourself.
Yep.
I'm going to advise you that you take a moment, get very clear on yourself, and just go, all right, what pieces of my puzzle would make it? And it's got to start with your heart.
And then Forbes it.
And then, just believe it's possible.
Yeah. So sweet. I love your story. Thanks so much for sharing. We're going to have you back on the next time you guys are in town to tell about your story to becoming an
About the
Arnold
next
champion and
event
all
you
the
have planned.
all the events you have coming up. But we wanted to share your special love story. So
was
thank
beautiful.
you guys.
Well, thanks for having us.
I appreciate
Okay.
you.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.
If any of you watching today have any doubts that your current CPA is not helping you take 100% advantage of the deductions you deserve and helping you stay compliant with the IRS, then don't hesitate to get involved with TaxHive today. You won't be disappointed.